Hello, everybody.
Hey,
It's Wednesday,
it is Wednesday,
and this is Deborah
and it's Lori. I
for
think
your weekly dose.
I need to check the name.
It's you. I know it's you, okay? Because, well, you know, some things we just know.
We should. How's your week been?
Not too bad. Yesterday, I took the day off, and I had lunch downtown at Waterfront Station with someone a friend of mine I have not seen in 8 years.
Wow.
She lives on the East Coast. It was very cute. She lives on the East Coast, Nova Scotia, and she come to the West Coast, and she's wearing a pink T-shirt that says East Coast right. I thought, well, okay, very cute. But it was wonderful to see her again. We had wonderful chat, and it was so good to just reconnect. So it was really good. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you were able to have some
it was
fun.
nice. It was really nice.
Yeah. We got a cold going through my house.
Oh.
Addie was sick for a bit.
And you're sitting beside me. Thank you.
I'm fine. See, I'm the mom, right?
Yes.
And so you nurse everybody else, and
Even
you're
though
fine.
sick, yeah.
And then once it's gone through everybody in the household, then you get sick.
right.
So we're only on person 3 out of 11, out of 9.
So you got a ways to go.
So
yeah.
we got a ways to go. So,
Okay.
I'll get sick when you're gone. So I'll be doing this going all over, but just yeah.
And we got 6 weeks to go for that
So-
before I go away.
But it was so cute because Sam, my little Sammy buddy, he was so sick on Sunday, and he didn't want to. He's the ball of energy, so he sat with his dad and he started to fall asleep, but he was not going to fall asleep. So he crawls off of, comes up the stairs and then goes and sits with Belle on her bed. And so he sits with Belle out like a light. And so he's got no one to talk to. So he kind of starts getting droopy. And so he's like, no. So then he comes over and he says, so he grabs a blanket and he goes, Grandma, can I sit with you? Because, it was cold in the living room. So we had the door open for the dogs. So he crawls up on the couch and 30 seconds, he is out like a light.
Yeah.
And in that, because I'm just that good, or boring, however you want to look at it. Kids, I can put them out like that. Like they just.
You have that energy that they feel comfortable and relaxed.
Oh,
I could do that with my grandkids.
I can't remember if it was Alec or Sam when they were a baby. They knew that, and when they were fighting sleep, Addie would go to bring them to me, and they'd fight like not grandma, because they knew they could not fight grandma.
Asleep, yeah.
I have a friend at church. Her kid was when her youngest was little, and she would not sleep. And I was there. Here, let me have her. Goes like, no, she's fighting. She's, I says I'll have her out. And she's like, no, nothing puts that. 2 minutes, she's out like a light. So after that, like every Sunday, she's handing me, here you go.
Some of us have that energy. Well, lots of people get agitated when children won't go to sleep or they're crying or fussing. I never did. It's just like, hey,
it's the bum
process.
taps.
Yeah.
It's the bum taps.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, okay, granted, I wasn't tapping Sam's butt, but it just like, there's this little thing, and he just was out and he slept for like 2.5 hours.
And he
But
needed it.
he did, because he
If you're
wasn't
not
sleeping,
well,
because it was stuffed up, and it was just kind of funny. So, but he tried to tell, I wasn't asleep, Grandma. Picture. That's not me. Okay.
Okay, yes, deny it all you want.
So, but because I did that, I wasn't able to work on a quilt. So. That's okay.
So you've made no progress.
Well, no, I've got the top done for my duvet, and so I've got it about halfway stippled.
Okay.
And in it, so I couldn't
That's doing something.
It's a huge quilt. It's like queen size, and it's just
and that
it's
stippling
big.
does take some time. Like it's times. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but you know exactly what I mean. It
Of
takes
course.
a while. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Time intensive. Yeah.
Though while I was doing that, it's kind of funny because you remember Cindy, right?
Yep.
And then she was really good at stippling, and she had all
Yes.
those stippling classes. And I don't need to take her classes. I'm not interested in stippling. And now I'm going, I should have taken the damn
Well, I
stippling
should have
classes.
taken the class. Absolutely. Yeah. If nothing else, get some input.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've had a little bit of input, but I think I really would have benefited. So today's tip is if you have an opportunity
Yes.
from someone who is really good at something, take
it.
advantage of
Yeah.
it, even if you don't need it at that moment, because you'll
Absolutely.
need it when they're not able to do it anymore.
You can never stop learning, and I don't care what it is. If it's your hobby, it's your passion, or whatever, keep learning things, because there's always somebody out there who knows something that you didn't know, or
Yeah.
it's just new.
And even if it's, like I said, if it's not something you're interested in at that moment, things will change.
yeah, absolutely,
And
yeah.
you'll need it.
The more you expand your skills. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I got that done. But Macy's quilt, I've got all the quilt top put together. Yes. And it looks so good.
Good.
And so the other night I was thinking, okay, now I got to quilt it. So now I got these really cool, brainy ideas on how to quilt it using the embroidery machine and a whole bunch of things. And I'm like going, they're really cool ideas. This might never get done because they're all time consuming things. So
see, that's the thing. That's the thing. The one project I'm working on, the major one, rather, is my grandson's graduation quilt, birthday quilt. 198 blocks, 196 blocks, pardon me, one of the two. Embroidered blocks. They're all the same, and when they go together, they create a design. And they're all done, like the blocks are done, and now I'm trimming the blocks. Oh, I don't like trimming. And then I get to put them together.
are you using a rotary mat to help you trim the fashion?
Yes, of course.
That makes a world of difference
Yes.
because it just never.
It's, well, and it's one of those anxiety provoking, because, I don't know if anybody else does embroidery, and you're trimming them. If you don't do it right, you can cut into your top, and I've done that more than once. Only once on this one, and I did make 2 extra blocks. Just, because you got to be, whatever, you got to be on top of it. So,
When we did rulers and the grippy stuff. Okay, so I have rulers that are the fluorescent green ones. So they've got
Yes.
that's supposed to stop them from thing.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was good enough, and I had my rotary mat, but I'd still turn and
Yeah.
it'd shift and everything else like that. So when we did that, I'm like, you know what? I am going to try those little rubber pads
Yes.
on the bottom, because in doing this, I knew they were great for the yellow rulers because they didn't have any grip on them,
Right.
but the green ones are supposed
Yeah.
to. Well, I put those pads on my green ones. Holy cow, did that ever make a huge difference. And so like with Macy's quilt, I had to square up all the squares. And so when I was doing them before, I put the little grippers on the thing. So I was getting frustrated, so I'd only do a few at a time because the ruler would shift, and I was like, ah. So then I put those, and I'm like just now whipping through those blocks and stuff. So if you missed that one, that was a few episodes
Yes.
back.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Go back and
back,
look at
yeah,
it.
and
But
check it out,
you know, just because you think a product is sold for a certain thing, you can always make it better.
Yeah, you can always
Those
use
little
it.
grippy things,
Yeah.
if you don't have them on your rulers, get them on your
Yes.
rulers. Whatever which way it is, it just makes
Yeah.
a huge difference.
It's true. And that quilt for my grandson, I will show it after I've given it to him, so that will come from Ottawa. While I'm in Ottawa, I'll take a
Even if
picture.
you
and
just,
you can,
take a picture and
take a
stuff.
picture and send it, and so you can just see.
You don't want to
what
spoil
has
the surprise?
No, I don't want him to see it. So I don't want anybody to see it until it is done. And he'll be tall enough to hold it up, because it has to be big, because he is tall, right?
All right. Surgery
Service.
class.
Surgery. What do you
Yeah.
want?
Well, I'm going in order.
Oh, I didn't put them in order, but okay.
Well, you put them down in an order. Whether it's... Hey.
Surgery classes have been added to the calendar. So levels 1, 2, and 3 in country folk, and levels 1, 2, and 3 here in Surrey. The country folks start May the 13th, and the ones here in Surrey begin June the 25th. So, and they're approximately a week apart for each one of them. So anybody who wanted them, missed them last time, you decided you want to expand and you want level 2 and 3 and you don't need one,
Get
Well,
registered as quick.
Get registered. If you've already got the manual,
Get registered so that you're in. If we find that it fills up again real quick with summer coming,
exactly, because this will be the third go for Surrey.
what's
So
teacher's name?
Monica.
There we go.
Monica.
I'm looking. I see her face. I see the big M at the start, and I'm like,
To have our teacher, it has to be, school is out because she is a teacher. So
yeah. So with summer coming, so if we get booked up sooner, then we can get those extra classes booked in before.
you can add yourself to a wait list, or you can call and I can add you to a wait list, and then we can when there's enough for another class, we'll get another one in.
I have a secret.
What?
Okay, so our service time, because we have amazing techs. They've got our service. We're all celebrating. It's down to 4 weeks.
They've worked really hard.
Been working very hard, and so it's down to 4 weeks. So if you are looking at getting your machine, if it needs service, now we're looking at more, it's regular maintenance type stuff, type thing, and you want it running. We're down to 4 weeks, and we have, if you get it in like pretty quick, yes, it'll still be like that 4 week wait.
Yes.
But if you get it in pretty quick, you can probably get it done before they start school servicing.
Because they will start the schools mid-June, and they are at the schools
So
almost full-time during the summer.
I mean, we still get a lot. We still get stuff. We get stuff
here.
We get stuff here, and the store's done, and we get the schools, and then that. So they work really, really hard during the summer.
Yeah.
But if you just want to, it's just unfortunately during the summer it gets bumped up a little bit.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
But still a reminder: if your machine still needs, like, if you just want to book a 1 day service, book a 1 day service. I don't think we have any between.
No, our newest is September. Our first opportunity for a same day for regular service, regular maintenance, is September the 10th, I believe. That's the first opportunity. So
do book. Make sure that you book. If you want a same day, get on those books. You know, you can book. You know, like a year out.
Yeah.
And so just book your regular service, and then it's done. If you your machine's acting up a little bit at the moment and you want to kind of try and get it back before summer, get it in now.
Exactly,
and here's another thought. Okay, so if you are planning on going away and going to be not sewing during the summer because you've trips and all this other kind of stuff, get your machine in now.
Yes.
And then it's here waiting its turn for getting serviced, and you're not without it because you're not planning on sewing anyways. So there's lots of different things, and we just kind of, get your machine serviced because we want to make sure it's serviced.
Yes.
Which kind of gets us to our tech talk, but we'll come back to our tech talk in a minute. A couple of other things that we just want to touch base on. Sit and Sew is on May 6th. If you are interested in the Kimberbell Day at the Spa, that's the 1 day event. We have it booked. It's on the calendar, September 14th. That like rope bowls. It's a really make you feel good thing.
Yeah,
so,
it's a spa.
and you get me all day.
Yes, there you go.
So that in and of itself is like a selling point.
Yes.
Well, try and look like that really is. I'm just going to come and I'm going to sit in the office all day and just stare at you.
It's a Saturday. I won't be here.
No, another day. When you're here, I'm just going to come in and sit in the office and stare at you all day.
That'll be fun.
In B&Me is tomorrow. So if you want to work on an embroidery project, bring your embroidery machine. Come on down. Spend the day with me. I'm not sure what I'm working on yet. I have like a lot of things to pick from. Then we have my tote bag class next week. If you are interested in that.
all of these are on the calendar, so
Yes.
check out the calendar.
And
I do
I'm-
that periodically. I just go on and check the calendar and say, what am I interested in?
I am
So-
busy planning classes from now. Well, probably starting June till the end of the year.
Okay.
I've got some really good ideas.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll see.
Be afraid. Be very, very afraid. When I get good ideas, we end up with chickens and tutus.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. Yes.
You know, you can get a bag now so that you can put your chicken in and carry your chicken around. I've seen patterns for sewing your
I've
own.
lived too long.
I think for Christmas, I'm going to make Carrie and her
No
family
way.
matching chicken carrying bags.
Well, you don't say that. Oh, our new backdrop.
Carrie's latest quilt.
Yes.
Isn't it pretty?
Yes, this is lovely. The color choices just pop.
Yeah.
It is fabulous.
Yes. So we got that one, and then she's got the one, Sean. All right.
Okay.
So should we go see if our texts are ready for us?
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to reach over. I'm going to grab us. I'm going to flip. We'll do a walk. We'll go see if we have... Don't trip. Should we look at Christmas fabric on our way, or should we look...
Well, it's right here.
Well, I know. Like, which side? Do we go Christmas, or do we go this
Just
side?
this side right now.
Well, I know it's that side, but do we do Christmas, or do we do kids and fun stuff?
Let's do kids.
We'll do kids. Ooh. Cute. Sorry, I got distracted.
So the one that I
There we go. All right, we're gonna just sneak
on a
through.
tour, ladies.
Well, we kind of.
To the text.
We're headed to our tech talk.
Okay.
All right, pop in. You guys ready for us?
Sure.
Okay, so last week Tom was talking to us about needles and which is appropriate needles. So we were going to ask you guys, what happens with needle breakage?
The breakage. Well, there's a few things. Obviously, the first thing is actually what causes a needle to break in the first place. And I'll give you a hint, 99% of the time, it's just down to the person sitting in the chair. It can be the machine, but
He's the one sitting in the chair.
not this chair.
That's right.
But what I mean is that it's usually down to operator error, and that can be from a number of different things. Most commonly, it's just pushing and pulling your fabric through as your machine's trying to feed it. And that happens when your feed dogs are all timed to move the fabric when the needle's not in the fabric. And if your needle's down and you're pushing it, it can bend the needle backwards and cause it, as it's going down, to hit something like the hook or the needle plate or any number of other things, and snap, you've broken a needle. It can also come from sewing over pins or sequins, beads, anything like that, anything hard. Sewing through too many layers with the wrong type of needle.
Or the wrong machine.
We're
Or
all
the
looking
wrong
at Deborah.
machine. Sometimes certain machines just don't have the power to be able to go through like 6 or 8 layers of denim or something like that.
Old needle.
Old needle can also do it if your needle's dull. As every time it punches in, I mean, it's gonna eventually flatten out the tip, so that rather than having a point, you got a nice little kind of hammer, and it's just trying to shove through. It's like trying to poke a hammer through a piece of wood. It's not gonna work.
So that's why you really do need to change your needle every 6 to 8
Yeah.
hours, or with every new project, if
Yeah.
it's like shorter projects. Yeah.
Yeah, generally we recommend that. And if you do have like even a thread breakage or something like that, it generally isn't a bad idea to replace your needle as well. Because what can happen in a thread break is you get a jam and it can yank the needle and cause it to bend a little bit. And once that needle's bent, it's not going to go through the fabric straight. It may end up hitting your hook, it may hit your needle plate, and again, you've got a broken needle.
Also, if you get a jam, you forgot to make sure the thread was in the tension right. and you get a jam underneath, it's a good idea to change your needle, even if it doesn't look bent, right?
Yeah, because even a slight bend, if it's bent in the wrong way too, it can cause you to skip stitches because it doesn't match up with the hook quite right underneath. There's a lot of different factors there. And then another thing is, obviously, it could be your machine. Ultimately, the machine could drift. Like if it's been a while since you've had it serviced, the timing can drift over time. If you have broken needles in the past, every time you break a needle, the timing can drift a little bit, and then get to the point where your needle's hitting the hook or the hook's hitting the needle, vice versa, and you're having broken needles more often. So this is one of the reasons why we recommend doing our same-day service, so that we can catch those issues before they happen, so that no matter what, it's not going to be your machine that's causing your broken needles.
It takes us down to operator error.
Yeah.
I've never made a mistake.
I'm sitting there as,
Neither have I.
as he's listing off the things, you know, it's like, you know, you don't push and pull, and I'm going, no, I never fight and tug at my
Never
fabric
do
and
that.
everything else like that.
No.
Even with free motion, it's that's one of the places where it's a little bit difficult, because it's like you're doing the work of feeding the fabric, but how you do it does make a difference. Or if you're like really like make it go somewhere where you're trying to really push it, then it's going to struggle. If you're just kind of guiding it, the free motion foot will push down on your fabric, stop it, and hold it in place while the needle's going through, and the fabric will kind of just
Do its thing.
do its thing, and everything should work.
Lori's learning a lot.
Would that be why when I have to stop my machine and then it goes up and I let go of the fabric, it jumps? I
That's
think
what the texts are for. They can answer that question.
M7's coming in pretty quick for servicing. Thank you guys.
Of course.
Thank you.
It gives us lots of information. All right, we're going to wander back. And yeah, now I have way too much information. Now I know 101 reasons why. Oops.
Why are you breaking needles? Are we going to do the Christmas now?
Yes, let's do Christmas. Ooh, isn't it pretty? Ooh.
My favorite fabric.
It is.
Between that and batiks, yeah,
Uh,
I can go broke.
yeah, I have a whole shelf of Christmas fabric, but it's never enough. I keep finding more fabric and I buy more fabric.
Never enough.
No. All right, I'll let you in first. Otherwise, you'll take my chair. All right. So, we'll flip till you get our beautiful faces.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't just get enough
We
of us.
try. We try.
Hey, we've done the hair today. Of course, it looked much better when I was at home. Get outside and...
Always.
So yeah, needles. Like, you really do need to factor in when you're doing projects.
Yeah.
Package of needles.
Yeah.
Depending on the needles, they range, $5 for a package of 5 up to, $15
Yes.
for a
Yeah.
package of 5 or individual. Factor that in.
Yeah.
Change out your needles
It's still cheaper than having to have your machine fixed
and serviced and
when
stuff.
you weren't planning on it.
Yeah. And then those tips, the feed dogs are there for
Yeah.
a reason.
Mhm.
Let them guide your fabric. If
Yeah.
you're fighting it, it just gives you more stress.
Exactly. 'cause-
So just, let, those kind of things. And if you break it, thread. Once, sometimes you can troubleshoot it.
Yeah.
Like the other day I broke a thread and it got caught in the thing. So, thread it through but if it broke again, I would definitely change out that needle
Yeah.
because I don't know what damage I've done.
Exactly.
And I have my eyes don't even allow me to thread the needle, let alone see just how good that tip is on the end of that needle. Change it out.
Yeah.
And,
I can now, since my cataract surgery, I can thread the sewing machine without, I've never used the threader.
show off.
I am just so thrilled that I can actually see it. So,
Yeah.
and no glasses. So,
So, those kind of things. And you do. If you get knots underneath, we've all done it, just...
oh God, yeah.
It could be, because we threaded it wrong. It jumps out of its tension, this or that or whatever. just save yourself
Yeah.
stress.
If you're spending enough time sewing, and let's face it, a lot of us do, you're going to make a mistake. That only stands to reason. Something will go wrong. The thread will break. The needle will break. Whatever. You just try to forestall those things by doing those things, maintaining it, getting it serviced if you sew a lot, once a year, changing your needle, buy good thread.
See, I have my standard needles, which are my purple tip, because I've got Janome, and those are universal or whatever. Those are the ones I use most often. So what I usually take into, so I don't notice necessarily the purchase of the needles,
Yeah,
is I do what I do with butter. Because butter is expensive. Is every time I come in and buy fabric, I throw in a
Yes,
package of needles.
yes, mhm.
And every once in a while it'll be like a specialty, like a ballpoint, because I
Yes,
do know I'm
yeah.
going to be working on t-shirt material.
Yes.
And, sometimes I'll throw in like the Microtech or whatever, because I do work on some specialty stuff or whatever. And I just kind of throw one of those in. And then I don't notice that I'm spending a lot of extra money
Yeah.
on these. Yeah, so I got like a little drawer. And
Me
I've
too.
always got
Me-
the
me
needles
too.
that I need.
Always,
It's just kind of
yeah.
like with butter. Every time I go grocery shopping, I throw a couple of things because butter's expensive.
Those types of things so that you don't notice it. Like, it's what you want. You want to do it. And needles are I just buy a couple of packs of each type that I use at a time. Like, fine, it's time for needles. And I always have a supply
Yeah.
because
But like it's,
you don't want to
So
run out of
there's
something
there's a
like
couple
that.
of different
Yeah.
ways. You can just sit there and say, okay, this month, May is my month that I stock up on all my
All my
needles, and
needles,
I've got, a ton of needles. Or just every time you come in and buy fabric, you buy a package of needles.
For that, yeah, exactly.
So
And
if you come
you'll
in,
always
a
have
couple of times a month or
them.
a couple
Whatever
of times a
you're,
week,
yeah.
a couple times a day. Yes, I'm addicted. Okay, maybe you don't, but just, or just once a month, you sit there and say, okay, this, depending on how much you sew.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it does
If you're
depend.
gonna,
So,
if
yeah.
you're sewing quite a bit, you're gonna want to pick up
Yeah,
needles a little
absolutely.
more often. But
Yeah. Have them there. It's easy. It's like having, I'm sure most of us have more than one pair of scissors.
Yeah.
Like they're just there. They're at each machine. I'm
I
not
have to
going to go
hide
run
mine.
looking.
my little-
Oh, people not that I have to worry anymore. There's no one there, but people in my family knew.
No, you see,
You don't touch my scissors.
well, apparently Belle doesn't know. So I've got my little tiny embroidery, or like the little tiny ones.
Yeah.
And in that, Belle has figured out that they work really great for what she uses them for her nails. And so she'll steal them. I had the really good pair that came with my Janome machine, and she stole them. And then she lost them. So then she stole another pair. So I have to hide those ones. No one, they all know better than to touch my actual fabric scissors.
See, you should put a lock on them. I've seen people. Have you seen that meme? The lock on your sewing scissors.
No,
Give yourself a
I
little-
have to hide them because Belle will take them.
Not if there was a lock on them.
She still would.
She wouldn't be able to open them though.
Yeah, she'd figure out a way.
Well, then you need to. I once had somebody gave me a pair of. Yes, she will. I pay her. Somebody gave me a pair of tailor shears. They were beautiful. They were like this. Oh, I'm telling you. I came home when this was my first husband. Not the reason we were divorced, but it part of it. He had used them to cut carpet. Do you know what that does to tailor shears? They were unfixable. They couldn't be repaired because they had sprung. Like they didn't even touch anymore.
Well, in his defense, carpet is a fiber.
I think
I
we
don't-
covered enough for the date.
I may not be here next week or ever.
Do you see me alone ever doing this?
Just put me out of my misery. All right, people.
Okay, that's
We-
it for this week.
It is. Go out and enjoy the sun today.
Yes.
Today and tomorrow is supposed to be nice. It's supposed to rain really heavy.
Considering it was supposed to rain all week,
Yeah.
it's done well.
Yeah, so today and tomorrow is supposed to be nice, but it's supposed to torrential rain
Yeah.
over the weekend. I know we need it, but it's just killing my back and my knees, so I'm
Yes,
not
same
having
here.
fun.
Yeah, but
So enjoy, and then we will see you guys next
Next
week.
week.
I got some really good ideas for next week.
ooh, okay.
So,
So,
all right, have fun.
all right. Till
Stay out
next
of
time.
trouble.
Bye.